Hello everyone, thank you for checking out my video and I hope you enjoy this video. So let's go ahead and talk about the 4 books that I would like to read that take place in Algeria. Okay, so I came across 4 books that take place in Algeria. I'm looking 3 of these, well 2 of these are nonfiction. Or no, 2 of these are fiction. One is nonfiction, and one is short stories. So it'd be like nonfiction, but short stories, I guess. So, and it didn't really say fiction or nonfiction. It just said short stories. So, just trying to get a little more comfortable. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about these. And I'll continue to insert photos because, again, none of these books I own. So these are books that I would like to check out at some point. So as a reminder, I can't recommend these books, but I can't tell you to avoid these books either. I have not read them, but these are books I do want to read. So 4 books I want to read that take place in Algeria. So number 1, The Lovers of Algeria. This is by Anwar Benmelik. And I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm going to say most of these names wrong. This one is an adult and it's romance. It says Jalal ran away from home. Now Jalal is, I think he's either 12 or he's 13, and he comes across this woman named Anna. Before he comes across her, he survives by, in his life, being alone by selling peanuts and selling a cigarette here or there. To people. So he does that to try and survive. Well, when he comes across Anna, Anna wants him to go with her. And I assume that she's going to strike up a deal where she'll provide for him and stuff. I'm assuming, I could be wrong. But she wants him to go. Anna wants Jalil to go with her into the mountains to try and find a former lover that she had. It talks about mourning children that she had. But basically it's like she just wants company and help finding her previous lover. So that's where it is. And so I imagine we'll have quite a bit of flashbacks about what her life used to be like with this person that she loved in her past. So, and probably through, not really flashbacks, but through storytelling. I would imagine that she's going to tell this 12-year-old, 13-year-old, something like that, about her past. Okay, let's go on to number 2. Algerian White. This is by Assia Debar. Again, I know I'm saying these wrong and I'm sorry. This is an adult and it's historical fiction. This one talks about a struggle between Islamic fundamentalism as well as post-colonial society. So people are kind of struggling between the two. And it talks about, it says it takes the perspective of different men and different women, and it talks about what they experienced during their final days and their final hours of life during the time of between the two, the colonialism and the Islamic fundamentalism. So I think that'll be really interesting. Yeah, I mean, people's final days and their final hours, that'll be interesting. So, okay. Number 3. This is the one that I definitely know is nonfiction. This one's called The Monks of Tiberine, Faith, Love, and Terror in Algeria. So this one's an adult nonfiction. It takes place in 1996. Now, of course, I don't remember anything about this. I'm sure it would have been on the news. I could be wrong about that because we know how some places like to omit things, but I don't remember hearing anything about that. But of course, in 1996, I was 12 going on 13, depending on when. I think from what it sounded like, I would have been 12, because if this was in the summer of 96, I would have been 12. So, and probably adults probably would have known, if they did know, would not have said anything, probably out of fear of upsetting me at that age. So, and thinking, I don't need to know about what's going on, because it was dark. It was very dark and disturbing, evidently, because it's 1996 and it says that these monks, and I think it's 7. There were 7 monks and they were taken hostage and they were used as basically bartering chips to try and get what these terrorists wanted during negotiations. So they were bargaining chips or pawns, whatever you want to say, these 7 monks. Well, I don't know what transpired between the negotiation and later. Between what happened next. I don't know the in-betweens yet, and I'm sure this book will go into that. But it does mention that at some point, these monks were beheaded. All 7 of them were beheaded, and their heads were found, I think, hanging from trees. Or they're found either hanging from trees or found in trees, probably between branches or something. I don't know. But their heads were found in a tree. And that saddens me. But their bodies were never recovered. So I don't know if they have yet to find the bodies or they're still not recovered. But at that time, their bodies were not found. And so I don't know if there's been any progress on that or not. But it's going to talk about that. And I think that's going to be fascinating. I hope it talks more about some of the monks' past life, like life during being a monk and maybe before, so we can get to know them. But I think this will be kind of a sobering and interesting read and very hard. So I need to make sure I'm in the right headspace for that one. Okay. Final book I'm going to talk about is Algerian Childhood. And this is by Lila Sabar, I'm guessing is how you say that name. This is the one that's short stories, and this is adult, and this is following different men and women, and it's going to talk about their life growing up in Algeria. It says, I mean, that's what it is. It's just very short stories from various different perspectives about what it was like to grow up in Algeria. So not only are we getting perspectives from Algerian men and women, we're also getting perspectives of people that lived in Algeria that are Jewish, that are Christian, that are whatever other religious affiliation any of these people are. So you're also getting different perspectives as far as that goes. So I think this will be really interesting to read. And so I'm really looking forward to this one. I think out of all of these 4 books, I'm most excited for this one. I think that'll be really interesting. So those are the four books that I want to read that take place in Algeria. If you've read any of these, definitely let me know. If you know any other books that take place in Algeria that you're interested in, definitely let me know so I can check those out. But I'm excited to get to these. I think they all sound really good. Obviously, some of them are entertaining, and these others might be more hard-hitting, especially the one with the monks. Just got to make sure I'm in the right headspace for that, because that will be hard. But I am looking forward to these books. So in the description box, you'll find all of my social media information if you'd like to check out any of that so that we can be friends on those platforms as well. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I will talk to you later.